Hello guys, today we'll learn about the sequence in Oracle. Sequence basically used to generate like unique number values, integer values, and if we talk about the types of sequence, there are basically two types of sequence exist in Oracle. One is global sequence and another is session based sequence. Global sequence is like prior to 12.1 version of Oracle, the sequence we have used that is known as global sequence. And on or before 12.1, the sequence there is a new sequence introduced that is session based sequence. So like for the session based sequence we have to use the keyword session, and if we will not use the keyword session, that means it will be considered as a global sequence. So let's understand something about global sequence, and let's see the difference between them, how it is working. So like as I discussed, like prior to Oracle version 12.1, all the sequence which we are creating is known as global sequence. In global sequence, what happens when we generate the next value from the sequence, it always shows the latest value of the sequence. Suppose in one session your sequence value is 10. If we run the nextval pseudo column in the another session, you will get the value 11. Okay, so that means it always shows the last value of the sequence, and if we use the nextval, then it increases one value and it displays the next value of that sequence. So there is two pseudo column used with the sequence. One is currval, one is nextval. Nextval is used to display the next value, and currval is used to display the current value. Okay, so as I discussed, when a new session, when you connect to a new session, it if we want to get the latest value using the currval, it will source the last value of the sequence. So this global keyword, it is not a mandatory keyword, but if we use the global keyword, then it will be treated as a global sequence. If we use or not use, it will be treated as a global sequence. So we can use the global keyword uh, for the sequence which we are creating, and it will be treated as a global sequence, and it is a default one due to which you are not using the global keyword. So if let me create a sequence. Here I have written global. If I remove also, we can, it will be treated as a global sequence. Okay, that is not a problem. And as you know that sequence always start with one. There is the other keywords there during the creation of sequence, like the start with clause, the increment by clause, and max value, min value, cycle, no cycle, all those things are there. But let me create a general sequence where all the default value will work, like it will start with 1 and increment by 1, all those things it will do. So if I create a sequence, global sequence, so you see global sequence created. So remember that global keyword is not a mandatory, because Oracle understand the global is a default one. So let me get the value. To get the value from the sequence, we cannot directly use the currval because we need to generate the sequence. For that, we have to use the nextval. If I use the currval before the nextval, you will get an error. Okay, you see, you get an error. So that due to which, like global sequence is not yet defined in this session, this error you will get. For that, we have to use first nextval. So let me run that. So next value is 1, and if I run the currval, then I'll get the current value, that is 1. And if I connect to another session, let me connect to another session. Here also, if I use the same currval and nextval, here also I cannot start directly currval because I need to define in the session. You see the same error occurs. And if I run the next one, then I got 2, and in the currval I'll get 2 also. So if I run again like 3, 4 and 5, you see, and if I see the current value, that is 5, and if I connect to another session also, then if I run the same query first I have drawn the next val, that is, you see, 6. That means from the last value it increases 1. The simple concept is from the last value it increases 1. But let's understand about the session based sequence, what it happens in session based sequence, how it works. We'll see that. Okay, so from the Oracle version 12.1, session based sequence has been introduced. For the session based sequence, we have to use the keyword session. That means create sequence, sequence name and session. So let me create a session based sequence. So create sequence, session, sequence, session. We have to use the session keyword for the creation of a session based sequence. Why we need the session based sequence? It is very simple. You see, sometimes there is a requirement, like you want to create a sequence, you want to use a sequence where the values will be reset to again 1. So if you want to do such kind of, if you want to face such kind of requirement, like where you want to reset the values and you want to start the value again from 1, so like from on a session, so it should from the one session to another session the value will be reset in the session based sequence. Okay, so we'll see that. So first let me create a session based sequence. You see, session based sequence has been created successfully, and if I use the nextval, so the next value is 1, and if I run the current val, that is also 1. Let me run the next val up to 5 times, like 2, 3, 4 and 5. So that means the current value of the session based sequence is 5. If I connect to let me copy this two line. If I connect to another session and if you want to run this, like we cannot run current val because we have not defined the sequence. We have to always run the first the next val, then only we can use the currval. So if I run this session based sequence and if I run the next val of the same sequences session sequence, then you see it started again from 1. Okay, it started again from 1, not from 5. Like it is not showing 6, it is showing only 1. If I run again, you see 2, 3, 4, whatever, and let me connect to another session. Let's see what will happen. You see here, if I running, I'm getting again 1. I'm getting again 1. That means you see in each session the value of the session getting reset, and it is always creating a new value from the start, from the starting only, from the 1. Okay, so this is the difference between global sequence and session based sequence. It is really very helpful during different uses in different scenarios whenever it is required. So I hope you all got understood. Please subscribe my channel and share the videos and comment below. I'll share the script to all of you, and hit the bell icon in order to get the latest video. Thanks to all of you.